Distinguished listeners, I am Somnophage, and I will be your chaperone through the infinite dream this evening. Tonight we are continuing Alan Wake, and this was one of my favorite games for a long time, and having gotten this far into it again, I can see why. I forgot that this had 6 episodes though, so all of the information that I've put up for my stream might not be as accurate because I genuinely thought that there was only 1 episode other than the special episodes left.
Previously on Alan
Wake. Might as well continue
Under the
off where
influence of the Dark Presence, I wrote a horror story that is coming true. Jagger had been my editor, making sure that the unfolding story would make her more and more powerful. Some part of me had been aware enough to write my escape into the story.
Together we can create something absolutely wonderful.
The lake, it does something to the works of art created here. It makes them come true. My mom gave me this old light switch.
The clicker.
Alice is being kept in a dark prison. I need to find Cynthia Weaver to fix this.
It's your fault, and you're gonna pay for it.
Anyway, that's where we left off.
Well, we're expecting a record crowd from the neighboring counties. Naturally, we hope to break the record set by last year's Moose Fest in our neighboring town, Watery. Ladies and gentlemen, some people have asked me, what's the big deal about Deer Fest? And I think that this sums it up. It's about friendship and community. We've got a great party coming up, but let's try to hold it in until tomorrow and get through the night in one piece, all right?
I have it. Someone will come for it when the time is right. Thomas said so. He wrote it. The key is insurance. It's my job to keep it safe. Safe in the light. Always in the light.
And that radio broadcast is an excellent example of what we in the business
All the
call
manuscript pages were gone. The
dramatic
FBI agent had
irony.
taken them.
I think my tongue just took a crap in my mouth. Ugh. Oh, wait, we're in jail now? Al. Al, this is not good.
That about sums it up.
Oh, I am never drinking again.
I need to talk to Weaver. She's the one in the song. The Lady of the Light.
What, the crazy lady? Whatever you say, Al, but we're stuck here. They're not gonna...
You haven't even interviewed Wake.
I had some reading to do first, Sheriff, and let me tell you, it was an interesting read. Well, I've got you now, Raymond Chandler. It's all here. All the evidence, including conspiracy to murder a federal agent. There's no way you're walking out of here. You hear me in there, Bret Easton Ellis? Huh?
Agent Nightingale, I want to talk to your superior.
Well, we all want things, Sheriff. I wanted my... Look, that's not possible right now.
Agent Nightingale, I insist. Wake, what's wrong?
Lady, are you stupid? It's a trick. It's an obvious trick.
Okay, I've had enough of this crap. Wake, I'm gonna trust you with this.
You're joking.
Agent Nightingale, your opinion would matter more if you were sober and if I actually believed you were here on official business.
Whoa! Get back in the cell, Stephen King. The
Yeah,
only way you're
we
leaving
have
this
it.
place is over my dead...
Wait a minute. I know this.
Oh my God!
Light. We need light. It's the only way to fight this thing.
In my office. I've got your things there. Follow me.
Oh, man! We're sitting ducks with the lights out!
Stay cool. I can get the emergency power on.
Nightingale tried to make sense of the manuscript. It was disjointed and strange. He didn't understand half of it, but it all rang true. Impossibly true. He took out his hip flask when he reached the page that described how he reached the page that made him take out his hip flask. It wasn't the booze that made his mind reel.
And I hope this is the one.
Nightingale felt the situation veering out of his control, but the gun at least felt steady in his hands. He was ready to fire, resolved that he would let this happen over his dead body. And yet he hesitated. He had seen this moment before, read it in the page. He was transfixed by the déjà vu and the horror that he was a character in a story someone had written. Then the monstrous presence burst in behind him and dragged him into the night.
Which we just saw happen. Ooh, can we watch TV? No. Anything over here useful? Ooh, that's a flare. Thank you. I was using the other shoulder for this, wasn't I? I can never remember which shoulder I have this over because it's always such a dramatic shift of which side you're on. You gonna open the door? Yes, you are.
Here are your things.
Ostensibly
Wait,
unlocked.
what do I need to know? What do you need from me?
They can be hurt in the light, only in the light, and I need to find Cynthia Weaver. She can help me stop this.
Light. Check. Cynthia. She lives in the old decommissioned power plant. I can get you there pretty quickly in the rescue chopper. Come on, let's get back to your friend.
You know, I really appreciate this particular
Wheeler, I need you to stay
character
here.
just because they let you take their shotgun.
We're going to fetch our ride, but I have friends who need to be warned about this, and I can't be in two places at once. I need your help.
Well, okay.
Here's a list of people and phone numbers. I need you to call them and tell them you have a message from me. Night Springs, okay? They'll know what to do.
Night Springs? Like the TV show? Gotcha. Oh, hey, that radio guy is on the list, Maine. Who's Frank Breaker? He related to you?
My dad.
Hey, is this like a secret society?
Can you do this? You'll be safe here. The backup power's on. These guys need to be alerted, just in case we don't come back.
You'll come back for me though, right?
As soon as we get the chopper ready. Thanks, Wheeler. I owe you one. Okay, let's go, Wake. Through the back.
My hangover wants a pizza. You think there's any way I could order one, Al?
I don't think that there's a way you can order one, Barry. Sorry, I had to answer a very important question. Let's go, Sarah. Oh, there's probably dialogue I'm missing by running off. No, we've got more to cover than I
Oh,
thought.
hell. Whatever took Nightingale must have broken the gate controls. Can't reach the gate's control box from here. We need to get to the other side over the rooftop.
I'll go. I'll open the gate for you once I'm across. You stay here in the light and cover me, Sheriff, okay?
Are you sure? Okay then, but hurry.
Am I going up this way? I think I'm going up this way. Look, if this game is as good as I remember it, I wouldn't be surprised if he makes like a third call if you stay around long enough and does try to order a pizza. Light, you can hurt them. Yes, but we are aware of that. Thank you for informing me again. Oh, no. Look, there's more than one of them.
Hey, Sheriff! Your password. Night Springs? What's that all about?
It's a stupid joke we have. That Bright Falls is the original inspiration for the TV show. This town can get weird at times. Never this weird, though. You need to bypass the damaged control box.
Now,
what am I, an electrician? Hold on!
Now, it is worth noting that
Ah, damn! That's smart.
Good job.
Alan
okay, stick close.
did write
Our first
some
stop is
episodes of
Town
Night
Hall.
Springs.
The keys to the chopper are there.
Alan also has kind of retroactively changed his entire life by way of being involved in all of this shit.
That guy's on the move.
So it's very possible that
Oh, no, you don't.
in the very surprisingly intense combat scene. That in the weird roundabout way that Alan Wake has written all of his own life, Night Springs may very well be inspired by this location that
Look
he
out!
only ever went to well after. Forgot about that. That he only ever went to after writing Night Springs. Yeah, but there might be secrets. Okay. Oh, hang on a minute, there are secrets. There's an arrow pointing this way. Where this way? Here? I don't trust like that. No, it's around this edge. There we are. Flare gun and ammo for it. That's so useful for where we're at. I believe that this was the point when I was first playing the game that I realized, oh wait, no, I gotta use all these consumables that are like grenades or the flare gun especially. That's kind of very important. And I never felt like I had enough, because by this point, well, dang. By this point, all of the levels that I had been stockpiling them through had gone by. So I will absolutely continue to save as much ammo as possible by not using this gun, as long as Sheriff Breaker is willing to keep up the good work. This looks so much like a trap because I can see these sparkling from so far away. There you go. Good work, Sheriff. Oh, it's the diner. Hang on. Very important. One, I can switch over to a stronger flashlight. Some more revolver ammo, always useful. Or even batteries back there.
I'm gonna want explanations, you know. For example, what the hell happened to Rose? She's seriously messed up now.
Manuscript page.
Barry was in his element, making calls, making things happen, even if he didn't entirely know what those things were. He wouldn't let the hot sheriff chick down. Even if every noise he heard from outside, and he heard plenty, made him jump. He had only paused to text Al a message, told him to hurry up. Suddenly, Barry froze in mid-dial. A window broke somewhere in the building, and then the lights went out.
Evidently there's a coffee thermos that I had never found before. And, even though we're going to have to book it out of here as soon as quickly as possible, we are absolutely telling it to play the music again. Same music from the very start of the game. Alright, lead the way, Sheriff. Ooh, follow. And I like following the glowing arrows.
And I thought New Yorkers were rude.
Is that a quip? Is that a quip, Mr. Wake?
The right to remain silent by understanding these rights.
Healing power of a good spotlight. I sell yummies here. Hang on. $3 hot dogs and $3 hamburgers, but only $2 for fries. This is a weird pricing setup. Why are you glowing so much?
Wait, over here! There's light! I have a key. Watch my back, Wait.
It's an ambush.
boss earlier, wasn't he? Show it? I don't like dealing with boss fights.
Oh, no you don't!
Survive a flare gun!
Let's go, Wake.
Yes, okay. So are road flares really this common out in, like, random forest town Maine?
Okay, someone's messed with the fuse box here, but you should be able to jury-rig it while I find the keys.
I already got electrocuted once today. How about I look for the keys and you get burned for a change?
Fine. They should be in the clerk's office on the other side of the building, near the main entrance.
Gotcha.
Ooh, another manuscript page.
The darkness that wore Barbara Jagger's face was furious. The story in the manuscript had been making it stronger all the time, but now the light had set the writer free and hurt it, weakened it. It was only a matter of days before the dark presence would be strong again. But meanwhile, it would be difficult to recapture the writer.
Anything here? No? Okay.
The message was from Barry. He was getting worried at the station. He wanted us to hurry.
You know, for a game that came out on the that came out on the Xbox 360, they did really good work with the lighting engine. Like, I get that that's kind of the whole point for this kind of game. Oh, there's the helicopter key.
Okay, Sheriff, I got the keys.
Barry?
Why isn't he inside?
Oh God! Oh God!
Barry! Look out! Barry, move!
Ah!
Barry!
He made it inside, Wake. He's okay. The storefront's blocked. Come on, Wake. Let's go around. We can meet him in the back.
Oh, well, what a delightful statue this is. It's not recorded when Bright Falls was first formed as a nameless trading post, but it became a town when Bright Falls Mining Company started to operate nearby in 1878. It was then that Hubert Biltmore, a fur trapper, and Amos Gunderson, a pioneer from Tacoma, decided to build a post office, saloon, and hotel, all operating from the same building. It was through the efforts of these two men that Bright Falls became the permanent and thriving town that it is today. Trust no one in the dark. Sheriff Breaker, are you in the dark? Well, you're not right now, so that's good.
We can make it through the bookstore. Wheeler should be waiting for us in the backyard.
Get the hell down or I'll call the sheriff.
Oh, hi, Doc. I've got it. Don't worry about it.
Sarah, about time somebody showed up. All this shooting in the air is idiotic. One of these days they'll kill somebody. And over Deerfest.
I know. Go back to bed. He's got a point, Wake. Look, this town can't take this.
It's me they want. The sooner I get out of here, the sooner you can all get back to life as usual.
I hope you're right. Come on, let me get this door open.
Wait, you got the keys to the bookstore?
Perks of being the sheriff. A girl needs to get around.
There was no prompt for me to help you get the door open, Sheriff. I'm sorry. Oh, you want to go that way? Hang on. I'm going upstairs then. I'll be just a second. You never know when there's going to be secrets, Sheriff. What do you mean you don't know what secrets are? Alright, bad news, Sheriff. There weren't any secrets.
They're really taking advantage of your presence here, Wake. I heard they're selling a lot of your Alex Casey books.
Right now, I'm not a big fan of my own writing. Cynthia Weaver worked hard, following her obsessive rituals, sometimes fighting them, always giving in to them in the end. She haunted the halls of Bright Falls' abandoned power plant. She marked her caches with light-sensitive paint that could only be seen by eyes that had been touched by darkness and saved by light like she'd been. She was preparing defenses and supply lines for the war she knew would come. The war between the forces of light and darkness.
Alright, that's a fair point that I had forgotten about. All that light-sensitive paint, that's not just specifically light-sensitive paint, it's magic light-sensitive paint.
I don't see Barry.
Look! Wake! Maybe that's him. That's the way to the chopper.
It's not a playground in a video game if you can't actually play on it. Oh. Sandbox. This is now a sandbox game. There we go. We have now touched everything that has physics. We can move on. I'm surprised they didn't record a line for Sheriff Breaker for that, because you know that every player is going to react to that in almost the same exact way. Let's see, we've got another stage set up. I don't think they're going to be reusing that exact set piece again so soon. Church events. We've got Sunday school on Sundays, Bible study on Mondays, Bright Falls Knitting Club meetings on alternating Wednesday evenings. Hey, that's when I run my one of my D&D things. Deerfest Candle Night, September 14th. Deerfest Morning Service, September 15th. The Presbyterian Choir of Watery Visit, that's... Wonder if that has anything to do with the Magic Lake, September 28th. And the annual charity bake sale, October 3rd. Flashbang grenades. And more flare gun ammo. Oh, we are absolutely switching to the hunting rifle. I don't care if we have basically no ammo for it. I much prefer it to the shotgun. I'll be with you in a second. I just have to check and see if there's anything in the truck. There wasn't anything in the truck, Sheriff Breaker. Well, our firearms aren't concealed, so that doesn't apply to us.
I'm I'm gonna give Pastor Howard a piece of my mind about this lock. Ugh, I told him to get it fixed.
Here they come.
Physical labor. Let's take a break.
Far enough!
Omega-3 fatty acids are good for your heart.
Tell you what, I will do these guys.
Far enough! Oh, no you don't! Freeze! Hold it right there!
Three of them, really?
Right there!
Alright, you get the door. Alright, knitting campaign win. You know, that's a good
Okay,
question.
it's open.
Because
Let's
I
go,
could
Wake.
probably make something interesting out of just that prompt.
Wow.
We keep them lit all night long on the night before Deerfest.
Why?
Well, it's tradition.
For it to be free, the Dark Presence needed the writer to finish the story. Again and again, the story let it get frustratingly close to the writer without letting it capture him. It was bound by the events depicted in the manuscript, but it could pursue the writer indirectly, put others on the task, and stop those who would help him. It took over everything in its path, made them its puppets, and sent them after Alan Wake.
We're almost there. We'll have to go through the basement to get to the parking lot.
Yeah, there's no way going through the crypt will turn out to be a bad idea.
And I do appreciate that it is literally how much it is genuinely just part of the plot that Alan Wake is writing himself plot armor.
You will help the fight against Starlight.
Why isn't the darkness ever grabbing Wake directly? Well, because it's written that it can't do that. Alright, so that's the way out. Is there any other secrets here? This place is a maze, and mazes like to hide secrets. I know this because I'm a writer. That's how you know things. Well, if there are secrets here, then I already got them.
Did you call 911?
Oh, thanks, Barry.
Guess that one saw the light.
Oh my god.
You didn't like that one? A tough audience. Well, I got plenty more.
What are the Christmas lights for?
Protection, man. Like garlic against vampires.
Vampires.
The helicopter's just across the parking lot and up the hill. Come on!
I'm gonna take this as evidence that Barry is probably the smartest person on this team. don't know what I'd knit. Probably a thneed. You need a thneed.
The Bright Falls General Store is now my favorite place in the entire world. See this headlamp? It's like a superpower. I can just look at one of those things and they die. It's my flaming eye of Mordor. I wish I didn't say that.
Yeah.
Hey, I want a headlamp.
Last one.
Bastard.
Alice had screamed until she had no voice left to scream. Around her, the darkness was alive. It was cold and wet and malevolent and without end. She was a prisoner, trapped in the dark place. The terror would have burned her mind out, but one thing made her hang on. She could sense Alan in the dark. She could hear him. She could see the words he was writing as flickering shadows. He sensed her too. He was trying to work his way to her.
When someone throws a damn school bus at your head and you're about to take a helicopter ride with someone who may or may not have a pilot's license, you're cleared for departure to Night Springs. No offense, Sheriff.
When an enemy jumps out of nowhere trying to attack you and they're covered in shadow magic, you just politely yet firmly ask them to stop. Works every time.
Right there. Oh, no, you don't. Far enough. Right there.
Oh, I'm never gonna get used to this.
Barry, I hope you never have to get used to this. If this becomes something we have to get used to, then I think that means that we lost. Trying to stop the darkness from getting out.
The helicopter's just up ahead. I'll need a while to prep for takeoff.
Don't take too long. I want to get out of here.
Let's see, we got a pile of explosive barrels and a pile of ammo. Subtle they ain't.
We're not ready to take off yet.
Well, get ready. I'll hold them off.
6 shots fired in the cutscene.
Wait, you better put an end to this.
Good, they didn't miscount.
Sheriff.
You're taking a big chance on a local crazy lady, Al. I hope you're right about her, or we can kiss this town goodbye.
I hope you know how to deal with this, Wake. I guess you New Yorkers are used to rough situations like this.
Right. The city's a war zone. King Kong, mutant alligators, and Alex Casey shoots the place up every weekend. Look, I never even carried a gun until a couple of days ago.
Well, my dad used to be a cop there. Tells some pretty wild stories.
Stuff like this?
No, just normal bad stuff. Kind of like your books, Wake. I used to tease Dad that he was just like Alex Casey.
You've read me.
Oh, sure. You're a pretty good writer. A little heavy on the metaphors, maybe.
Nobody's ever said that before.
We're coming up on the power plant. See the lit building over there? And that's the dam further up the river. I can't land here. I'll take her down the road across the river.
Just get me there, Sheriff.
Hold on! Ow!
Son of a bitch!
Did they really take away my good flashlight? They took away everything. Like, I'm glad that I was using all of my resources in that last fight, but... Alright, you have to spam take ammo from those because for some reason they only give you 1 ammo pickup at a time instead of just maxing the ammo automatically. Alright, now this I think is the one that I have mentioned before. It should be somewhere around here. So, if I'm thinking correctly, then very shortly we're going to find another radio, and that radio is going to have a that radio is basically just going to say, now we're going to play some music by this group called Poets of the Fall. Good group. And that's pretty much the entire context of what they tell you. In fact, it's that radio. So we're not going to play that radio because it doesn't give us any plot, and it just plays earnestly good music that is definitely copyrighted. If you want to listen to it, which, sure, go ahead. Ow! If you want to listen to it, then I believe it is War by Poets of the Fall. entire reason why they have that in here is because Poets of the Fall, again, I mentioned on the last stream, was the group that did that did all of the music work for. Oh, I am out of players. That's that sorted out. Lovely. I believe this is actually a trend that continued forward in other Remedy games. They would just feature a song by Poets of the Fall, whatever they'd released recently, somewhere in the game, and maintained good terms with them.
The power plant glowed in the night. It was close, but I had to find a way across.
I am curious. I probably should have looked this up before I started doing these streams, but is there or rather, did Remedy Studios make any other major video games before this one? Because Quantum Break comes next, and that's what we'll be playing after we get through all of the Alan Wake content. And it has some similar vibes. It's not exactly the same, it's not a direct continuation, but it has some similar vibes. Ha! We don't want to walk into that. And then after that, we've got Control, which is widely accepted to be pretty fantastic. And Control is very much the same universe as Alan Wake. I think there's even some crossover content. Gotta turn this light back on again. Ah, healing. Oh, they did Max Payne? You know, I can kind of see that, just gameplay-wise.
Making her way through the water pipe alone, Cynthia was angry at the writer. Foolish young man, taking unnecessary risks. And the way he broke the rules. Didn't he understand what was at stake? Since the terrible days in the 70s, she hadn't wavered once, as hard as it had been. She was tired of protecting the town all these long years, and now only wanted to rest.
Oh, thank goodness, more flares. Being down to only one flare is never a place that I want to be. Being completely out is practically unthinkable.
The story I had written in the cabin had come true. Touched by the dark presence, I had written a horror story, but the end was still missing. The story was incomplete, and the last unfinished page of the manuscript still sat in the typewriter in the cabin study. If I could get back there, if I could read the page, then I could write my own ending to this story and save Alice.
Let's see, great big open area. I'm betting we're gonna get another Doom tornado. That's the first one of those that actually spooked me. Flare gun with 3 shots. Now I've gone from relieved to worried. Far side, right? I don't know why the Twisty Bridge has decided to be permanently set to Twisty, but...
We managed to lose the block. You're almost at the power plant. Keep going. We'll give you support.
Oh, right, because the darkness is fucking everything up. Ooh! Night Springs!
Are we men dreaming of being butterflies, or butterflies that dream of being men? Such philosophical concerns are by necessity abstract. And yet, some of us can find concrete proof of the nature of our existence in Night Springs. Tonight's episode, an absence of creativity.
Really? But what is it?
I guess the temptation is to call it a hole, but it's really an absence, a profound lack of reality.
In Martha's basement?
Yes, it was doing so well, too. I came up with 2 old ladies and put something really weird in the basement. It was a great start, but I'm completely blocked now. I can't imagine what I was up to.
Well, surely it's just an ordinary basement.
Is it? Why did you call your friend here, then?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, well.
Couldn't you just ignore it?
Oh, no, I couldn't do that. It would probably turn into a plot hole. Might be one already. Could sink the whole enterprise.
Oh, my.
Listen, ladies, not to be rude, but I'm really not at all sure where I'm going with this, and you're just not helping. You should just go back upstairs for a cup of coffee while I try to figure out what I'm up to.
Well, if you think that's best.
Maybe I should just stop here. Or is that too moronic?
Is that too moronic? Indeed. Who can tell? It's a fine line between the stupid and the sublime. Night Springs.
Oh god, I love the episode that's literally just we had writer's block and decided that could be the whole episode. Alright, thanks for being so patient. Thanks, Sheriff Breaker. That light forward, like, just a hair. Oh yeah, you can't hear me up there, can you? Things at me. Running out of ammo. Can you throw my gun down from up there? Like, I didn't take it with me.
We can't stay here. Get inside. Call us when you know what the plan
I think that it would be better if you stayed close. Like, I can help fight those things off. Oh, okay. Alright, lots of things were pointing that way, so they really wanted me to get that ammo. Flashbangs. Everything nice. predicted.
I recognized the logo on the power plant sign. I'd seen a version of it painted all over the area, signifying hidden caches of supplies.
Everything pointing this way, saying it's a safe haven. But is it really?
Miss Weaver, Cynthia, I'm a friend.
Prove it.
You knew Zane, Thomas Zane. You're the Lady of the Light in the song. You can help me.
About time. Young man, I've been waiting a very long time for you. It's in the well-lit room.
Excuse me?
What you need to drive the darkness back. The well-lit room is at the dam. I built the room to keep it safe.
Will it help me find Alice? Will it get me back to the cabin? Fine, let's go. I can get my friends to come back with the helicopter.
Oh, we won't go outside. Never at night. That's rule number 1. You've been breaking the rules, young man, and where has that gotten us, No, I have a secret route, a lit route, an old water pipe. Something was damaged at the transformer yard. It's draining all the reserve power. Without it, the pipe will go dark. The power to the yard must be cut.
Let me guess. You want me to do it?
Young man, you're the one who likes to break the rules. I can't be outside in the dark. The kill switch is outside.
Okay, let me just finish looking around this room first, because like, you put lore in here. And a flare gun. I have 6 shots with a flare gun. That's a terrifying amount of ammo to have. You can keep your emergency reserve batteries.
I have been preparing for these times, the dark tides. You have found my caches, haven't you? You can see the signs. Very few people can. Yes, please, take what you need. This is all for you, for the likes of us. We do Tom's work, don't we? Hurry! The switch is on the wall facing the shore.
Alright. Unless you're trying to get me to go this way? No. That's just a terrifying beacon of light.
I cannot take you to the well-lit room if the lights in the pipe go out. You must go outside.
Alright, transformer yard. Alright, I still have that flare gun equipped. You know what? Sure.
Weaver had sent me to cut the power to the transformer yard. I was willing to do grunt work for her to get her to help me. I hoped Weaver was dependable. I'd stumbled into this crazy world a little over a week ago. She had been living this insanity for decades. I could see the kill switch that would cut the power to the transformer yard. Now I had to find a way to reach it.
Are you ready for puzzles? Floodgate controls to be operated by authorized personnel only. Well, that's too bad.
If I could figure out the gates, I could use them to get to the kill switch.
Oh, these puzzles. I've never been good at these puzzles. I'm amazing at these puzzles. 2, keep the lights on. Well, rule number 1, don't go out at night. Rule number 2, keep the lights on. Rule number 3, oh boy, more shotgun ammo. Let's just reload this weapon before we cut power. Because you know we're going to cut power and then these lights are going to go off. That's not fair.
Who designs these things?
I had made that jump.
The transformer yard went dark and dead. Weaver's water pipe passage should now be good to go.
I will say, with how much they skew this camera off to one side, it is really hard to run in a straight line. There you go, power cut. More flashbangs.
This way, young man. Follow me. Come, the pipe's empty now. We're ready to go. This way. We need to go. I knew them both, Tom and Barbara. I had such a crush on him. Such a beautiful man. I was jealous. There was a part of me that was maybe a little glad when she had the accident. And then Tom started writing and woke the darkness up. He tried to bring her back, but you can't do that. There are no free rides like that.
I'm starting to realize that.
In that case, young man, perhaps you're a smarter man than Tom was. The witch looked like her, but it wasn't. Barbara was sweet. He didn't understand until it was too late. He tried to undo it, wrote himself, her, everything he'd ever written out of the world. Oh, he was so famous. And afterward, no one knew. Oh, Tom. He left only one thing behind in my care, in case it happened again. Insurance. He trusted me. Or perhaps used me a little. Tom knew how I felt. Knew I wouldn't refuse him. I built the well-lit room and put it there. It's been waiting for you. We are characters trapped in a story you have written, and none of us will survive to see the end of it if the darkness isn't stopped. She'll twist the story to her own dark ends.
How do you know all this?
Tom, that's the way he wrote it. He still talks to me, you know, in television, from beyond, from below. We have both been touched by the darkness, young man. He saved us both with light, but the darkness stays with you. Leaves a stain. This pipe will take us directly to the well-lit room.
Okay, I need to call my friends, tell them where we're going.
Hello? Al!
Barry, we're headed to the dam in one of the pipes. Meet us there.
Okay, I'll tell Sarah.
It's Sarah now?
Whoa! No! For the sweet love of...
We gotta go see if they're okay.
They're probably dead. You
I
must
like Barry.
reach the well-lit room. This is no time to be a selfish idiot.
That's my best friend.
Well, be a fool. I'll use the pipe. I'll meet you at the dam if you make it.
At least I didn't have to worry about her. She knew how to stay safe. Sarah was almost starting to relax. Maybe they could turn this into a win yet. Suddenly, there was a piercing sound, like a table saw gone wild, as 100 birds made out of shadows swarmed into the rotor. The chopper bucked wildly and the board lit up, telling her what she already knew. They were going down. Barry Wheeler screamed next to her.
Alright, maybe we couldn't have just used a flashlight to get rid of all of the birds. There are kind of a lot of them. He won't come close now.
Barry! Sheriff Breaker! Sarah!
The crash site looked bad, but as far as I could tell, the wreck was empty.
Huh.
Barry!
I still like Barry.
Over here! Hang in there, I'm coming!
Get the hell back,
Keep shooting! I think we have company. Say that! Not far enough! Fight 'em off! Far enough! Say that! You know when to make an entrance, Wake. We were ready to make like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
I have a different ending in mind.
Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks for asking.
I knew you'd be all right.
How's that?
The flaming eye of Mordor?
Laugh it up, funny man. Didn't we have somewhere to go?
Weaver will meet us at the dam.
Yes, which is why I have to go this way first so that we can find the hidden cache of whatever light-giving tools they have provided, and or ammo. Sometimes they literally just are giving us bullets. Or an entire hunting rifle. You never know. But I do know that that's the way we're going, which means first, we're gonna look inside this building. And find that there is nothing here.
When you spend most of your night running uphill while a crazy bunch of demon hicks try to take your head off with an axe, you know your helicopter crash landed in Night Springs. Come on, Al, couldn't we just wait here? Please?
Look, Barry, I know that you haven't been doing this as much as I have. Yeah, I know you haven't been dealing with this stuff as much as I have,
That's
but
the elevator we need to take.
those light bulbs are not the most reliable thing. They pop all the time whenever the darkness is back.
What the hell is that thing? It's everywhere! Oh crap, there's more than one of them!
Nothing moves like that. It's impossible.
Ah! Al! Do something!
I'm trying, Barry.
He's too fast. I can't get a shot.
There! No, there! Al, they're all over the place!
Farther. Where'd that one go?
Ah, this can't be happening! Was that it? Are we safe?
That was... wow.
I don't think safety exists
okay.
anymore, Barry.
Hey, Al, I got a bad feeling.
Let's keep our eyes open.
Oh, sweet pool of light.
Wake, call the elevator. I'm keeping watch.
I think I hear something moving around.
Oh, wonderful flare gun ammo.
Heads up! Here they come!
Oh no! Oh no!
They're coming! We have to hold them off! Cut 'em off! Oh, no you don't!
Oh no! Oh no! This is the slowest elevator in the world!
And it's a pretty slow elevator, but it's not that bad.
Keep shooting! It's almost here, Wake. Just hold on! Right there! Here! Al, let's go! Stay back!
Good job, Sheriff Breaker. I do wonder if that elevator is actually time-based or it's wave-based and they just trust that you're not going to be looking at it while it moves.
We're almost there. There's an entrance into the dam at the top. What's the plan, Wake?
Well, Weaver's crazy, but she's got something Zane left behind. Something to fix this.
Gee, could you be a little more vague?
Thomas Zane? Seriously? Might as well be Paul Bunyan or Bigfoot.
Yeah, well, he was real.
Please, I hate this.
Okay, Wake. There's a button over there that opens the door.
Oh, hold E to open.
I think something's broken. Hold the button down so we can get in.
Delightful.
Get to the dam through here. What's happening out there?
You guys go ahead and find Weaver. She should be in the dam now. I'll have to make it alone through the top.
Okay, Wake. Good luck. Don't get yourself killed.
Now, please be careful.
I'll take good care of Barry, Wake. You just look after yourself.
Alright, now when you say you'll have to head alone through the top. Oh, that's the first one I'm taking.
You gotta be kidding me. Down, boy.
Seriously, Wake, what are you doing
Thomas
making all
Zane
these
knew
clips?
he had to remove all that had made this horror possible, including himself. That was the only way to banish the dark presence he had unleashed and now looked at him through the eyes of his dead love. But he also knew that despite his best efforts, it might someday return. So even as he wrote himself and his work out of existence, he added a loophole as insurance, an exception to the rule. Anything of his stored in a shoebox would remain.
Remember way back in the first chapter, we got to that cabin and I pointed out, hey, you might notice something over there. Why, it's a shoebox full of books by a person, poetry books by a person named Thomas Zane, who Alan Wake had never heard of before. This is the explanation for that. Alright, it is. You know what? Thank you for pointing that out. Evidently my bitrate has crashed, and it's something to do with saying that the graphic settings are too strong. So let's see. What ratio is this? I think that's the right ratio. Yeah. We're just gonna drop the resolution down by a chunk. This is in Borders Windowed. That's now it's set to full screen, but it didn't. It's not full screen. It's taking up only a small chunk of my screen. We'll make it windowed, and then we'll switch it to full screen, and then hopefully this isn't causing an even worse mess with everything. No, that's still not gonna work. Okay. Alright. It has to be full resolution. Alright. What other graphics things can I turn on? We'll drop it down to medium. Because that's specifically what I'm being told is potentially the thing causing the latency problems, and it literally just cleared up as soon as I switched it over. So, okay. Alright. So, as of this moment, you know what? I'm going to take this as an opportunity. I'm going to pause right here. I'm going to run to the restroom. And I'm going to ask y'all to just refresh the stream if it's falling behind because of weird latency stuff or anything like that. That should make sure that we're all caught up and at the same point when I get back, which will be very shortly.
Oh, by the way, DJ, so for the most part, treasure is like first come, first served. But we try to divvy up the equipment as best as possible so that we can like overall be good.
All right. And I genuinely just got back at this exact moment as someone was saying, yeah, that looked like it smoothed the heck up. So that is a huge difference of time. So onward we go, and hopefully I will notice if something goes off again. Hopefully it doesn't. And hopefully dropping the graphics quality doesn't actually make a visible difference. There are a lot of games like that. I'm gonna assume those aren't real birds because we've exploded a lot of birds, and I mean like a lot of them. I could understand there being this many birds in this mountainous area, but all the same bird when it's not typically a bird that has these huge flocks? That just seems a bit odd.
Fishing can be a hobby or a job.
I was ridiculously outnumbered. The searchlight could even the odds.
Hey, remember that segment of time back when the Xbox 360 was so popular, where every single game had a turret segment? Nothing turns off the tension, like very slowly waving a spotlight over a bunch of enemies. Oh, hey, it's the tornado. perfectly safe.
You made it. Well done. I'm glad I was wrong. But it was a foolish chance to take. Don't worry about the noise. We're safe here. I have looked after the well-lit room for many, many years now. There is no shadow in the well-lit room. The power is fail-safe, and all the bulbs are numbered and changed regularly based on their make and model.
Right.
There's an old army base at Raid Cove Point, north of here. It was active during the Second World War. They operated here back then. They must have built this.
Yes, they did. It's my place now.
One second.
Oh, cool. I was one shot.
All right.
Take it, and I won't need to worry about the room anymore, because 6 and 33 and 118 need changing soon, and I don't want to climb up the ladder to change them because it's very late, and I'm tired. And if you take it, I won't have to do that anymore.
The page was autobiographical, a memory from my childhood. But I didn't write this. It was a page written by Thomas Zane. None of them were supposed to exist anymore.
Alan, 7 years old, would fight sleep to the bitter end. When he did sleep, he soon woke up, screaming, the nightmares fresh in his mind. One evening, his mother, sitting by his bed, offered him an old light switch. She called it the clicker, and flicking the switch would turn on a magical light that would drive the beast away. To imbue the talisman with all possible power, she added that it had been given to her by Alan's father. Alan never knew him, and anything of his took on mythical proportions in his mind. With the clicker firmly in his hand, Alan finally slept like a baby. Now, almost 30 years later, Alan thought of this as he stood on the rim of Cauldron Lake, the clicker in his hand. He took a deep breath and jumped.
My mind swirled. I'd given the clicker to Alice, yet it was here. Zane had written it into existence in a story I had written. I can get to her now. I can finish this.
And there is the delightfully Ouroboros-like music that we can't listen to. Yes. There is the delightfully Ouroboros-like setup we have here, where Alan wrote about Thomas Zane writing about Alan, and both of them were sung about by the old gods of Asgard, who were written about by both Alan and Thomas Zane. All three pieces created each other, and as such use each other as these supporting pillars. It helps give their own story that extra edge. It's how they manage to fight things off. Because let's face it, the old gods of Asgard are a more heroic band than the horror stories that Alan is writing. And Thomas Zane was a poet. He mostly seemed to write happy things, until his muse died by drowning in the lake, at which point he made the mistake of writing something that it didn't have the follow-through that it should have, and that let the darkness out.
Previously on Alan Wake, I wrote a horror story that has come true. Thomas Zane did the same in the 70s.
You will go no further.
If I continue like the Dark Presence wants me to, the story I'm writing won't save Alice. It's a horror story. No one will survive.
You knew Zane! Thomas Zane! You're the Lady of the Light in the song!
He left something behind to help me. The clicker.
Alan thought of this as he stood on the rim of Cauldron Lake, the clicker in his hand. He took a deep breath and jumped.
I can get to her now. I can finish this.
All right. Assuming that we don't have technical issues, we will finish this chapter tonight and then we will save the DLC and American Nightmare for next week. Just because I'm looking at the time, and that's what we'll have time for.
I had a hangover. My head was about to explode and the light hurt my eyes. I needed my sunglasses and painkillers to dull the pain. In one of my finer moments of self-deception, I swore to quit drinking. The pills worked fast. The prospect of being awake started to seem bearable again. The sunglasses made the world look bearable. Now I could keep my eyes open without feeling like a vampire in the sun. There was a message waiting for me on the machine.
Yeah, no, he has a trophy for gunmanship. He's like, I never carried a gun before this. I mean, I guess carry is different than firing, but
You have one new message.
Al! Are you still asleep? Wakey, wakey! You should have your show on your TiVo. If Alice wasn't too mad to record it. Now, she called me earlier and really chewed me out. Yeah, we went a little overboard last night. But parties are a part of this business. Al, look, I'm saying this as your friend. She's not doing your career any favors by trying to run your life like that, okay? I'll talk to you later, Al. Watch the show.
I would not put past this game to put one of those coffee thermoses that I'm trying to collect in the past.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Harry Garrett Show.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. We have a great show tonight. I've been talking with the best-selling author Alan Wake about his new book, The Sudden Stop.
Yeah, good read. Go buy it.
No, it is a good read. Look, I'm gonna be honest here.
Is that wise?
No, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I got people who give me the lowdown on books. I'm a busy guy. But this one, I actually read from cover to cover. I mean, I'm a big fan.
Wow, thanks.
Now, this might be a spoiler for those who haven't read the book yet. Based on the sales figures, the 2 people out there who haven't read the book yet. But this last book is all about the death of the main character, the hard-boiled New York detective, Alex Casey. Now, there's been a lot of outrage about this. Why the hell did you kill Casey? What the hell were you thinking, man?
Good riddance. No, seriously though, 7 years and 6 books is a long time. He was a gloomy guy to spend all your working hours with, and it was a good run. But it's time to explore new things. My next book will be a departure from the old for me.
You selfish bastard, always thinking of yourself. Well, you've certainly given us a lot of entertainment over the years. And now that you mention it, Casey was a gloomy guy. Never had much luck with his love life with the ladies. Was that autobiographical in any way?
Yeah, no kidding. Casey's lady friends tended to die on him. With Casey, it was all about his pain. No, nothing autobiographical about that. I'm a happily married man. My wife is my muse.
Well, congratulations. That's great to hear. So, how's the publicity tour been treating you?
Good. Great. But I gotta say, I'm glad to be back home in New York.
Well, you've certainly been on the news a lot lately. Lots of parties and, you got into a fight with some paparazzi.
Oh, man. Well, that guy was really in my face. I lost my temper. I know that wasn't cool.
You are famous for that temper.
Well, I did also write several books.
Well, your latest novel is called The Sudden Stop, and it's in bookstores now. Go get it. That means the 2 of you out there who haven't bought it yet. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have for you tonight. I want to thank all our guests for the evening. Alan Wake, Sam Lake. Once more, do the face for his Sam. There it is. and our musical guests, Poets of the Fall. Thank you, and...
Well, it's the fall again.
At least I'd been funny. I told myself I could live with that.
Hey, honey. Did you watch the show?
I didn't say anything stupid if that's what you want to know.
Okay, Grumpy. You want an aspirin or something?
Are you going to start with me about drinking now?
You know what? Go back to sleep, Alan.
What? Now you can't even talk to me?
Well, this morning I was angry because you said you'd be home at midnight and you showed up at 7 a.m. and passed out in mid-sentence. Now I'm over it. Are you angry?
This goddamn tour. It's gotten out of hand.
Oh, honey. It's almost over, right? We can get back to normal. Then you can start writing again.
I'm sorry, honey.
Alan, you're not thinking straight. Just take a shower and go back to bed, huh?
Yeah, you're right, honey. I'm sorry. Once this is over, let's go away together. A vacation. Just you and me. Some peace and quiet.
Now, there's something there that I haven't actually pointed out yet that is a very major stylistic choice.
The clicker was the key to the cabin. I had to return to Cauldron Lake to save Alice.
And that is...
I'm going back to the lake to finish this. I'm going to write an ending to the story in the manuscript on my own terms, to make it all right.
Why can't you just write it here?
The last page is still in the typewriter. I need to read it first. Everything needs to be just right. Zane tried to cut some corners, and it didn't end well.
Okay, ready when you are.
I'm sorry, Sarah, but I need to do this alone. Barry, take her gun. Miss Weaver, close the door when I leave.
Good luck, Al.
I'm not sure I agree with that choice, Al, but you know what? You do you. I do want to let the cutscenes speak for themselves for the most part, so... I'm sure there are points where I'll be able to finish my thoughts.
Sunny. I'd flicked the switch of the clicker. Had it done this? I didn't stop to question it. I had to take advantage of the sunlight to get to the lake. On Zane's page, I'd stood on the rim of Cauldron Lake, about to use the clicker. That's where I was headed.
But yes, a very important stylistic choice that has been in play this entire time, and that's anytime something is shown on TV, it is live action video.
In daylight, surrounded by the beauty of the Pacific Northwest landscape, it was hard not to let doubt creep in one last time. I could still chalk everything up to a dream, a delusion. I had enough imagination to make up something like this, having been in the cabin all this time, trapped in a story inside my head, gone mad from grief over Alice's death like Hartman had claimed. There would be no way of knowing. I told myself it didn't really matter. My course was set.
Advertising! Somehow, that's probably the most egregious the advertising is in this game. And that's with all of the batteries being specifically product placement. Okay, that one might be just as bad. The batteries might have just taken back the... You know what? There might be secrets hidden in all these little alcoves. But I don't want to damage the flow of the story. I do like how it was night. I clicked the button. Now it's daytime, and I have no idea if that was done by this or just happenstance. And of course, we don't run into something that stops us until we get to a place that is dark.
The darkness had touched me. There was a link between us, always would be. I could feel its presence again, getting closer.
I will kill your wife.
The Dark Presence was no longer trying to capture the writer so he could create the ending it wanted. The writer knew too much. He was too strong. And he carried a weapon left behind by Thomas Zane, something that could hurt it. Now, the darkness was doing everything in its power to simply stop the writer from ever reaching Cauldron Lake and the dark place it came from.
Oh, by the way, I'm gonna step up and be like, hey, jump scare warning. You've been seeing them already. They're gonna be even more common as we get through the later parts of the game. And this is the last big chapter, the last main story chapter. There's gonna be a lot. It was enough, I remember, that when I first started playing this game, I did not simply become frustrated. I began to see it as almost comedic how frequent they were. Alright, I see a ramp, and I'm gonna ramp off of that in a minute. But first, we gotta go inside here. What's inside here? I don't know. Possibly nothing. Interesting name for that brand of sunglasses.
Based on the signature in the motel register, Agent Nightingale had stayed here, in room number 2.
Oh, a coffee why is there a coffee thermos in the bathroom? Why did you... Okay. The Majestic Motel. General information. Refundable $100 security deposit is required for all reservations. No personal checks are accepted. We take all major credit cards and bank cards. Checkout time is 10 a.m. No loud music, no pets. 1 vehicle per unit. Facilities are for registered guests only. No visitors are allowed on the premises after 9 p.m. No exceptions. We hope you enjoy your stay at the Majestic. If you're a senior or a vet, ask about discounts.
This had obviously been the room where Agent Nightingale had stayed when he hadn't been busy harassing me.
You know, I was going to ask why it was obvious, but I think that all of the alcohol and also the FBI jacket and the fact that he has a copy of The Creator's Dilemma, which just seems to be proof that you are a villain in this book, or in this game, kind of works all together. Neat that he has flashbangs, though. That's nice bit of character.
Look after yourself and your
Could have fooled me.
What are you talking about, Alan? Alright, all these other ones are locked. Stop that. I'm just gonna try this last door because you never know. It might. Nope. Just take this car? No, I have to go back to the same one that I was in before. Which, I mean, you know, that is fair, aside from, you know, the whole, this appears to be a bit of a bit of an apocalyptic situation. Radical. Like, these people are all being taken by the darkness, and I genuinely do not know if anyone who owns those cars is alive at this time. Or if they will suddenly become alive once the once all this danger is through. because it is a sensible name. Yes, that did turn off all of the video in this game for me as well. Enemy monster truck? That's not a tunnel for me to go through. That's a vehicle for me to commandeer. Shinier lights. So, fun fact, we have gotten word now that Alan Wake 2 is in a fully playable state. Nearly fully playable state. It seems to go back and forth with status it is in the article that I... And in that article, they mentioned that Alan Wake, that Alan Wake Remastered has not yet paid off in royalties, which is an interesting thing to say when I literally tried to buy Alan Wake Remastered for this very stream, even though I already had the original game. I figured it might be a tiny improvement in graphics, but it's more likely going to be a better improvement in compatibility with various modern graphics. Or various modern graphic systems. Any issues that we might have here might be mitigated by the remaster, and if it turned out bad, then, well, I literally could just play the older version. And who knows, maybe they would have done that very nice thing that some developers do on Steam, where they say, hey, here is this remastered version of a game, and you get it for free because you had bought the original copy. They did that with, did they do that with Scholar of the First Sin? They might have, or they might have said, hey, it's very cheap in comparison. I know I've had some games where they've done that, where, hey, I just get a free copy of it. They might have done that with Red Faction Remastered. And who knows, maybe I will play Red Faction Remastered on this channel at some point, because I did like the Red Faction Guerrilla. It had some problems, and the last time that I had tried to play it before the remastered version came out, it ran into a fascinating problem where pardon me, sirs. Excuse me. I did enjoy Red Faction Guerrilla, and the only thing that kept me from going back and replaying it a few years ago was the fact that the Steam version I had a driver problem where I could see the sun through the ground and it would crash before I would get out. These two things were probably related, but I cannot say for sure.
The bottom of Cauldron Lake was a graveyard of things the lake had claimed in one way or another over the decades. The Dark Presence brought them up in its wake, scattering the rotten waterlogged hull of an old boat here, the remains of a long-ago crashed airplane there, trees shattered under the impacts. The earth groaned. It didn't even notice.
And this is such a strange final section of level, because we have had interesting set piece after interesting set piece. And we finally get through to, okay, we've gone through all of these various areas that start with, hey, it's just some logging sites, you're going through bits of forest, hey, look, an old mining town. Well, here we are in the very end game. We have gone through that wonderful set piece on the stage. We've gone through the town both in daytime and again at night, which was a very different experience. That was good juxtaposition. And here we are driving down the road. We have had so many times where there is a tense moment where we are crossing a bridge. What does it matter that we are crossing a bridge here and now? Yeah, it's got all these poltergeisting things, and it may even be a difficult segment of gameplay. It's gonna be a way back out, isn't it, instead of a way up? Give me the hunting rifle. And while any of these individual rooms might be perfectly serviceable for this game, and these encounters are certainly the tougher ones that we've seen, stylistically, this ain't much. This might very well be part of why I was so certain there were only 5 chapters, because it's not because this is bad, but because how do you top, alright, we're going to be going through town and then through the power plant. Well, clearly you just go to Cauldron Lake, right? But that could have been 1 chapter. Or if 2 chapters, I mean... Alright, I'll admit to this being a pretty cool potential set piece. I am immediately changing my mind as I get to the scrapyard.
Zane cut its heart out, but it didn't die. The thing that wore Barbara's face kept crooning sweet nothings sugar-laced with poison. He put on the suit, untied the monster from the chair. The thing in his arms thrashed weakly, but he held fast. He stepped outside, off the pier, and into the dark water, a sinking pinprick of light descending toward a bottom that never came.
I don't know why the scrapyard is on fire. Lift very slowly so that we can't skip the intense combat action. We gotta get the car that isn't potentially damaged. Immediately potentially damage it. You know, I'd play a game set in an entire town that is set itself inside a power plant. That would be fascinating.
When I told Barry my plan back in the well-lit room, I'd acted as if I knew what I was doing. I didn't. I was operating on the shifting logic of a dream. I had to fight my way to the lake through the horrors of the night. I had to flick an old battered light switch imbued with childhood magic. I had to write a happy ending to a horror story. I had to save my wife from the dark prison she was being held in.
A good summary, Alan. Such a small mouse icon. Well, let's see, a pile of guns and a pile of lights. Pump-action shotgun is better than the hunting rifle. Only because the ammo is inexplicably more common for it. You'd think that being out here, you'd prefer to have a hunting rifle to a shotgun.
I will never give her to you. Okay. Uh-oh. What kind of uh-oh is this? Is this an uh-oh where the stream is completely dying, or an uh-oh where it's just the stuff that's going on?
The dark place I found myself in was unlike anything I could ever have imagined. It wasn't solid. It flowed. It was conceptual and subjective. For someone else, an artist in another field, it would have been very different. I could sense the story of the manuscript all around me, the words and ideas floating in the air, poised to become real. mirror peak in the distance. That's where Cauldron Lake was.
And we'll say it again for those who missed the first stream. This game is so good at saying, here, have a visual indicator of what you are going towards. Just sitting up there on the horizon. No. They're not spiraling enough to be a Chronado. This is clearly a birthday. The difference is they have absolutely no respect for what actually physically exists in the world, and they are warded off by the most ridiculously simple mutants. While you're still being expected to believe they are a credible threat. Please note, if I was playing one difficulty level higher, they would absolutely be a credible threat. I would be terrified every time I hear that bird noise because I know that a third of my health bar is about to vanish. I'm not facing them already. Mirror peek up there. Let's see if it magically gets closer or if we're actually approaching it at any reasonable rate. enemies are the one thing that I distinctly really hate about this game. They were exactly the reason I would stockpile flashbang grenades and flare gun. Let's move toward the forest fire. That's a great idea. There's nothing that can go wrong walking towards a forest fire. The thing is, these guys move so fast, they will just run up behind you if you don't stop to fight. So I can't even say, you know what, they're just running around out there, I'm just gonna ignore them. So fond of throwing things at me. Lightly devastating. Of our good ammo, but we managed to just get through that without too much issue.
Oh crap.
It's okay, you don't need to pause every day. We're good. good. How many boats are up here? These are mountains. Okay. Okay. Okay, I can understand lake boats. I can understand these kind of boats, because like I could see you being like, yeah, no, we're gonna either build that up here out at these lakes or whatever, just because you want to have a nice boat up here. This, I mean, I guess there was the ferry that brought the cars across, but like, ow, you stop that. That mirror peak up there, getting close. Good to have some more insurance grenades.
I needed to get the generator running.
That way, then. Yeah, I think I'm gonna commit to saying it. This is an interesting choice of last mission. Because what has been the draw of this game so far? Feel free to contradict me. I don't feel like the big draw of this game has been its action. The action is surprisingly satisfying, in part because the aim assist is very strong. In that, if you're shining a flashlight on the enemies, then if you're shining a flashlight on enemies, you're going to hit them. Yes, if you have your flashlight on it, so it fuels the response. Even if you never actually aim down sights, you can hit things pretty far away. You don't have a crosshair, you have that center beam of the flashlight. But yet, I really do feel like the draw isn't the combat. The draw is, what is going on with this story? I gotta see what happens next. I gotta see where they're taking this. I enjoy all of these different characters, even the ones that are kind of directly intended to be bland. Yet, the federal agent guy is barely even a character, but he has nice characterization to him because he always calls you by the name of some other author, and that's a delightfully obvious way for him to be an asshole.
After Zane had gone, I stood alone in the shifting dream that was the dark place. I had to find a way to the cabin. I'd written myself a way through this place in the manuscript. I followed the idea of a path. I'd written myself across the ocean that blocked my way, and with that, there was a bridge to the island beyond. The idea of the cabin flickered in the underwater darkness. I willed the cabin to be real, and it was.
Barry is a delightful character, and he has all of those things
now
that could make an archetypal bad character. He is inherently and yet very great. Against most things, just pointing your flashlight at it will make it, that will drain the shield off of it. Is good gameplay. Like, at this point, I'm just talking about things that I like about the game rather than talking about why I feel like this is a weird way to end it. But I don't know. I feel like going for a hard gameplay climax rather than having character interaction be a major facet was a decision that is not doing them huge favors. Heck, they just vanished as soon as the vignette was over.
Do as you're told.
It's not like there isn't tension in these scenes. So, it's happening again. The amount of jump scares that they're trying for is this is the way it's supposed to be going. Oh, there was a hole. There's a hole, everyone. There's a gap. They even had a little hazard tape warning there. Alright, point of order. This is probably single most interesting thing that I've seen here yet. Just an ammo box that is straight up flaring on it. It's like playing an old Resident Evil game to get to the point where all of the, wherever you reach the final boss, rocket launcher has got it. It will give you ammo for forever. The screen shake is getting actually difficult to handle on my end. I can't even imagine what it's like for Chad. Can I turn that off? No, I cannot. That sucks. This no longer is serving the gameplay. Oh my god, it is like the last moment of any fucking Resident Evil game where where you suddenly have a rocket launcher with infinite ammo. Because it's literally the end of the game. Stand here and shoot flare guns at it.
Hell!
Shh, baby. You were having a bad dream. It was just another nightmare.
No.
Everything's fine. You're home.
It wasn't a dream.
Everything's fine.
Turn the lights on. Turn the lights on!
Shh, baby. The power's out. There's no light. Come back to bed and I'll make you forget all about your fear in the dark.
My fear? It's your fear. Why aren't you afraid? You're not Alice. Turn the lights on now. Where's the clicker? What did you do with it?
Alan, you're scaring me now. Come back to bed. Have you taken your pills? Do you want me to call Dr. Hartman? I read your manuscript. It's brilliant. Departure is your best work yet. You're a genius. I'm so proud of you. Come back to bed. We'll talk more about it in the morning. Come back to bed, Alan.
Come back to bed, Tom.
Hi, Tom.
You must find your way to the cabin. It stands in your way. It won't let you pass. It has no heart. It's filled with darkness. You must fill its heart with light. Don't mind him. He's Mr. Scott. Your friends will meet him when you're gone. Use the clicker.
Ah, yes, this part. Bird. Telephone pole. Shopping cart. Crate. You're making things with the words.
I followed the idea of a path.
I'm leaving you.
What?
I'm leaving you, Alan. I met someone. I'm in love with someone else.
Alice? No, what are you saying? You can't.
You don't love me. How could you when you don't even love yourself? All you do is torture yourself with work you can't do anymore.
No, I love you more than anything in the world. You're my muse.
I'm not.
Who are you? What have you done with my Alice?
Alan? What are you doing? Put the light back on! What are you doing, Alan? Stop! Put the light back on!
It wasn't true. Nothing like that had ever happened.
I had ridden myself across the ocean.
Bird.
You're not my Barbara.
Tom, let me go. I promise to be good. Please, untie me, you naughty boy. I will help you write your masterpiece. I will love you forever.
No, you're not Barbara Jagger. I made a terrible mistake. I should have never written you back. You came back wrong. Your heart is filled with darkness.
Put that knife away, Thomas. Put it down.
My heart is filled with darkness. I'll cut it out. I'll take you back to the depths you came from.
I willed the cabin to be real.
Filled with darkness.
That's some disconcerting audio.
Get away from me, you hag! Where am I? Let me go!
Alice! I'm coming!
Your husband refused to do as he was told. All he had to do was write what I...
Now you will never get her back.
I am much older than you. Older than your first work of art. I will find a new face to wear. Someone else to dream me free.
And that segment is actually why I'm excited for Alan Wake 2. more than anything else, that is what has made me want this sequel since before they had even made Quantum Break. It is why I am invested in this studio, because it shows me that they can do some creative things when they set their minds to it. Everything else up until this point was fun, thriller action. It was a thing where I didn't know what was coming next.
Alice's presence close by. I understood what I had to do now. I knew how to write the ending to Departure. There's light and there's darkness. Cause and effect. There's guilt and there's atonement. But the scales always need to balance. Everything has a price. That's where Zane had gone wrong. There's a long journey through the night back into the light.
Alice? Alice? And there are players here. Oh no!
Well, now we know that any of the people taken by the darkness are, in fact, still okay. Well, for given definitions of okay.
It's not a lake. It's an ocean.
Alan, wake up.
And that has been Alan Wake. This has been a good time, and it's not over yet. Next week, we will be moving directly into the special episodes. They were released as DLC content, although by the time I played the game, they were just part of any release that you were likely to get. And after that, we will play Alan Wake's American Nightmare. Oh, no. I'm skipping the music. Yes, it's very nice to hear ground control to Major Tom starting up there. No, Rocket Man. No Rocket Man tonight. Not on my stream. Licensed music and all. So yes, we will play on easy because they have a different difficulty scaling. The Signal and the Writer, the special episodes. And after that, the next week after that, we will play Alan Wake's American Nightmare, which might be a bit of a longer stream, just so that we can get all of it done in one playthrough. But I think that we can do that fairly well. Once we have finished that, we will be able to move on to the next game. The next game that we have from Remedy, Quantum Break. And that one I'll be playing for the first time. I've heard some good things about it. I've heard some not so good things about it. But you know what? The same is true of Alan Wake, so we'll just be going into that to see how it is. And after that, we will move on to Control. I know I'm going to say this again, and that I have said it before. Control, never actually beat it. I have enjoyed everything that I played of it. It just was... I didn't feel like I had the time. And when we're done with that, well, maybe by then we will have finally hit 50 followers and hit the threshold, at which point I will be able to start scheduling playthroughs of the entire Kingdom Hearts franchise, minus Union Cross because it's a gacha game, and Recoded because it's just a it's just a recap episode. Thank you for the compliment, Minetric. Thank you for watching, everyone. Thank you for being a part of this experience so far. I have been Somniphage. Have a pleasant night and pleasant dreams.